Is extinction ethical, especially when it may increase distress in the short term?
So I know that escape extinction is something that we typically do not use. And escape extinction meaning this is aversive to me. I would like to get away from
Yeah.
this task, this food, this stimuli.
Oh, for sure. And that's that compliance.
Yes.
That's a really big critique, but I feel like that critique is somewhat valid.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that we go out of our way to make sure that we're not causing trauma, which I think can happen through an escape extinction where you're forcing someone to interact with a stimulus that they really don't want to have any interaction with at all.
Yeah, I think I've seen it in real life doing
Mhm.
observations at other people's establishments and clinics. And I have the biggest problem with escape extinction for food.
Yes.
I do not think it is ethical or right or helpful or functional to shove any food in anyone's mouth that doesn't want to eat that. I've never done that as a behavior
Mhm.
analyst. Um, you know, I think more and more behavior analysts need to take an empathetic lens. You need to see, how would that feel like to you?
Yeah.
You
Think
know?
of the thing that is most disgusting to you being forced in your mouth.
And that's 1984. That's coercive.
Yeah.
If you're doing that, you're doing something wrong. You need to stop immediately and,
Yeah.
get a mentor.
Yeah.
Go to some conferences, get training, more training.
I believe strongly that that is something that really should not be done in a home setting, and certainly should never be the first thing that you do to approach feeding.
Oh, yeah.
I know it is done inpatient, and sometimes it might be appropriate. I'm not saying that it's not. It's just something that I would not do, and I certainly wouldn't do it in home.
Yeah, and I think it does produce trauma.
I think it does. And
Yeah.
then you can go from what is a pediatric feeding disorder to which is an acute disorder, which can change, to avoidant restricted food intake disorder, which is chronic. So we have to be really careful about the things that we do because we don't want to cause trauma that will then cause further problems down the line for the people we're trying to help.
I mean, not to go back to revisionist history, but do no harm, right?
Yeah.
Hippocrates, right?
Mhm.
Do no harm. So if you wouldn't want it done to you, don't do it to anybody. Really,
Yeah.
it's like, but then cost benefit.
Mhm.
In hospitals, there is force feeding. It's, intravenous, right? It's like,
Yeah. And I think that, those are other disciplines as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily a behavioral lens that we're
Yeah.
looking at in a hospital setting.
So much of social engagement can be reinforced through social interaction. And attention extinction or planned ignoring is highly controversial. This is where the behavior analysts hypothesize that the behavior is likely to be maintained by social positive reinforcement in the form of attention or a tangible item. Tangible extinction, I have really no problem with. If someone is doing a maladaptive behavior that is harmful in order to get a tangible item like the phone, if they're hitting, if they're pushing peers and to get the ball,
And that's a natural consequence as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
then the
whether
ball goes
you're
away, right?
Yeah. Whether you're in an ABA program or not, if you're engaging in those kind of behaviors for access to something that you really don't need to have.
Yeah.
Um,
It's not a need, it's a want. Waiting for a toy at the store.
mhm.
Then, I think extinction can work,
I think so too.
When someone says, even for adults, when you're engaging socially at a party and someone says some weird comment or a backhanded compliment to you, like putting that on ignore is probably a good thing.
Mhm.
I think that works. But is extinction ethical when it may increase the distress in the short term? I think that comes back down to the cost-benefit ratio that we
Yeah.
really need to look at in terms of treatment versus benefit.
Well, one of the things that we do when we do use an extinction, whether that's tangible or attention, is that we first are providing them with the skill to get the access that they need.
Yes.
So we're giving them the appropriate language. We're also often encouraging non-contingent reinforcement of attention to reduce that desire to engage in a behavior that's maybe harmful
Yeah.
to get that attention. So I think, there are two sides to a coin. You can't have one, you can't have extinction without having the replacement already. Um,
Yeah. I have a really interesting story. I'd like to get your take on it. And it actually happened like roughly 10 years ago. So
mhm.
it's a nice timepiece. But had a little boy uh, refused to get out of the car when they got home. Refused for hours to get out of the car. Parents would spend excessive amounts of time trying to get him out. He would become physical. He did not want to get out of the car. I saw it. I looked at the antecedents, the behavior, the consequences. I saw it several times. Uh, there was a lot of parent engagement with the child, and that's powerful for
That
a
is very
child. It's like,
powerful.
when I can make the whole room stop and look at me, that's really powerful for a child and even some adults.
Yes.
But we did do attention extinction,
Mhm.
and we did it very safely. We had safety guards in place. We were in like 15 feet of the child. We were looking out the window. He couldn't see us. We ignored the behavior. We had the car door open. It was warm that day, so we put water in there, and we just said, "Okay, we're going inside. Bye. See you later." And that child sat in that car for over an hour
Oh, wow.
in like 80-degree California sun
Wow.
before he came up to the door and came in. And then it was like, "Oh, good to see you." But we did do planned ignoring, and it worked really well. He never did it again.
Yeah.
We waited him out. He never did it again. So I do think can be powerful,
Mhm.
but you got to have safeguards in place.
Yeah.
It's got to be the right.
Yeah, because people can get hurt, if you don't
Yeah.
have that.
And it can produce trauma. So,
Mhm.
an instance, I've never done this, but if a child was in desperate need of help or something like that, and you're
Mhm.
like, "Oh, do it yourself, and then I'm gonna put this on extinction," planned ignoring, I think that's unethical.
Yeah.
Ignoring signs of distress are unethical. I don't think you should ignore it.
Mhm.
Should you go through the burst?
It depends what
Sometimes.
that looks
It
like.
depends.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why it's good to have a behavior analyst in the moment.
Mhm.
Like when I do something like an extinction procedure, I always say we're going to be there to do the heavy lifting because it is heavy lifting
It
and you have to
is.
make real world treatment decisions in the moment,
Mhm.
gauging, do I have a scent,